Welcome, dear listeners and viewers, to another episode of Vintage Recordings. I'm Jane, your host and narrator for today's tale. As always, I'm grateful to all of you for tuning in and joining us on this journey through history. Today, we delve into a curious aspect of the past that many of us have likely pondered. Why was smiling rare in old photographs? It's a question that invites us to explore the nuances of bygone eras, to understand the cultural and technological circumstances that shaped the way people portrayed themselves in early photographs. In the early days of photography, capturing an image was no small feat. Long exposure times meant that subjects had to remain still for extended periods, often several seconds or even minutes. This technical limitation posed a challenge for capturing natural, spontaneous expressions like smiles. Imagine trying to hold a smile for minutes on end without flinching. It's no wonder that many early photographs feature stern, solemn expressions. People opted for more neutral or serious poses simply because it was easier to maintain composure for the duration of the exposure. But beyond the technical constraints, there were also cultural factors at play. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, photography was still a relatively new and unfamiliar medium. Many people approached it with a sense of formality, viewing it as a solemn occasion rather than an opportunity for lightheartedness. Furthermore, the concept of smiling for the camera hadn't yet become ingrained in society as it is today. In a world without smartphones and instant selfies, the act of having one's photograph taken was a special event, often reserved for significant milestones or occasions. As such, people approached these sessions with a sense of seriousness, aiming to convey dignity and respectability rather than frivolity. Additionally, there was a prevailing cultural belief that smiling too much in photographs could be perceived as frivolous or even disrespectful, especially in more conservative societies. This notion stemmed from long-standing traditions of portraiture, where seriousness was often equated with dignity and decorum. Of course, there were exceptions to the rule, and not all old photographs feature somber expressions. Candid snapshots and informal portraits occasionally captured moments of genuine joy and laughter, offering glimpses into the lighter side of life in centuries past. As technology advanced and exposure time shortened, the prevalence of smiling in photographs gradually increased. By the mid-20th century, with the advent of faster film and more portable cameras, capturing spontaneous expressions became easier and more commonplace. Today, of course, smiling for the camera is second nature for most of us. We snap selfies with abandon, capturing moments of happiness and silliness without a second thought. But it's worth remembering the roots of this cultural phenomenon and reflecting on how the simple act of smiling has evolved over time. So the next time you come across an old photograph with serious faces staring back at you, remember the intricacies of history that shaped those expressions. And perhaps, in doing so, you'll gain a deeper appreciation for the stories captured within those vintage images. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Until next time, this is Jane signing off from Vintage Recordings.